And if we look at Zydeco, Zydeco is another example of a folk music. Now, Zydeco you're only going to find in this New Orleans Creole area, but it's a very specific music that really fits in with a very specific area. And if Zydeco had caught on like some of the others, we may be talking about Zydeco as pop music. But again, some are going to spread out, some are going to stay localized. Some are going to spread out, some are going to stay localized. All right? So let's look at some pop music on the other side. Obviously, we all know when we're talking pop music, we got Michael Jackson, right? Katy Perry. Those are what we think of when we think of as pop music, right? Nobody's going to deny if I say, hey, Britney Spears is pop music. You guys go, well, yeah, duh, that's pop music. But now that we know the definitions of pop and folk, this is also pop music. Jay-Z's pop music. It's not pop what we think of as pop, but it's pop. Anna, explain to us why Jay-Z, Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Tupac, the Beatles, the Killers, Metallica, Kenny Chesney, they're all pop music.
Because their music spreads everywhere, several countries, they go on tours worldwide.
Absolutely, they're going on world tours. Are there bands that sound like Metallica that come from other parts of the world?
Yeah.
Absolutely there are. Are there rappers from all over the world? Sure, that's pop. That has ceased to be folk music anymore. Now, when rap started, was rap probably a folk culture specific to certain areas of the United States?
Yes.
Sure. Not anymore. And that's long gone, right? Even rock and roll, when it first started, was kind of localized, but it became pop very quickly. And that's what we have to understand when we're looking at pop and folk, is something can be folk, but the second it starts spreading, it's pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for you guys a video. And you guys are going to tell me whether this is an example of pop culture or folk culture. All right. Daniel, is that folk culture or is that pop culture? Why do you say pop?
Because it crosses several different histories. It talks about oppression around the world.
Okay, so we're talking about many histories, talks about oppression around the world. Who else can tell me why it might be leaning towards pop?
He raps in it.
Yeah, I mean, the style of music, it's this kind of reggae style rap, which is pop. I mean, you can get that anywhere. But why might somebody go, I don't know if that's completely pop.
Because he's traditional Jewish. He has his yarmulke and his beard.
Absolutely. He's got the beard, he's got the yarmulke, he's even wearing his traditional prayer shawl. But at the same time, what does he have over his prayer shawl? He's got a hoodie on. He is, and this is Mattis Yahoo, but he is almost the epitome of folk culture mixed with pop culture. He's rapping about different cultures, but the name of the song is Jerusalem, right? He's singing about his heritage. Now, he's incorporating it with other things. But in a lot of ways, this is folk and this is pop culture. It's kind of a combination of the two. And that's what makes kind of learning about folk and pop culture so interesting, is that if you look in your own lives, you can probably see some examples of some folk culture and some pop culture kind of within yourself here when we're looking at that. Now, the last thing we're going to look at today is you guys, on your way in, picked up a reading titled Amish Folk Clothing. So I want you guys to read through it, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what the Amish perceive as folk clothing.